Hello, this is Wmpyr here with a totally different video. Normally I try to explain, teach some stuff that I'm familiar with. This time I'm gonna try something that I'm totally not familiar with. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I feel like you can kind of see my thought process. You can kind of see like yeah, how I'm going to tackle this and go about it as someone who is, a total beginner at this. Okay. All right. Well, let's give it a shot. Two-handed weapon is just something that I don't, I normally don't do this. Everything I do with Escrima, Kali Arnis is, one-handed weapon. So this is obviously two-handed. Pretty much just it was like a mop, so I made it into my staff, okay, and I'm just gonna mess around, right? So I kind of feel like the first thing is I gotta clear my legs, so this is the same thought process as in Escrima. I need to be able to clear, and the path of this going around here like this it feels different. I'm very unfamiliar with it, even though it's the same like figure eight that I do with the single sticks, double sticks, but it just, I don't know, something just doesn't feel right about this. So I feel like, I can easily hit my own legs. It's off. It's definitely off. So, doing this and changing stances, I want to be in a solid base. And as I do this, I just worried about, glancing on my own leg, and that hurts because this is harder than my knees and my legs. So I'm coming here. This is now more like some nunchuck type movements where you're just rolling it off the body. So here, and then I can. That's not smooth. That was smooth. That's smoother. This is okay. I'm a lot smoother this way. I should be able to do the same thing over here. It just doesn't feel. I'm not as comfortable. So this feels good. And then technically I should be able to go diagonal over here. And then I gotta watch this because once again I'm not used to the length of this thing, but I should be able to go this way as well. Diagonal, bring it here, like this, kind of like you see this in Bruce Lee did this in Enter the Dragon, right? So boom, but then I should be able to, yeah, I can go around my neck, but instead of doing on the neck, I kind of want to do the shoulder thing, being able to pass it around the shoulder here. Here, boom. So that's definitely going to take more practice, obviously, but I'm not comfortable doing those kinds of diagonal passes over this way and that here when the ceiling fan is right there. So, but I am aware that it exists, because if you could do this here, why can't you do, this way? See, it's almost starting to roll off right there. And then I also see people, yeah, they put it to the armpit. So once again, this is very nunchuck-esque, at least the way that I'm thinking about it. So catching it onto the armpit, but then once you catch it, I've seen people, so they can, well, that just doesn't feel good for the legs. Right here, so they bring it into the armpit, but then they can open up the armpit and release it as well. So, because normally you would think that once it goes to the armpit, it's trapped there and it's caught there, which it is, but you could use that to open and continue that motion. So that is, that's something to play around with. So right here, like I just did right there, I passed it out from the armpit. I didn't exaggerate the motion, but so here, and then there's a twist going on there. See, there's, instead of just passing it straight from here to here, and yeah, I did that in this grip instead of this grip. So there's a lot of different possibilities there. But yeah, I feel, see, that was a rotation, so I could go vertical back to here. Yeah, just passing around the body. So there's a lot to explore there. Once again, passing it around the body, I just don't feel comfortable in this small environment. So let me go here, this one again. So this one, as you can see, is more like, I almost feel like, see, this is kind of closer to Heaven 6 type of movement. What we call in double arm waving, the Heaven 6, you can make it smooth. And when you do, it has this kind of motion, and because you're making a figure 8 essentially. And that is called redondo in traditional Filipino martial arts. So that's all I'm doing. But I feel like, okay, so right now I'm doing this here. You see the space? I have the space between the grips here, right? And I know in more traditional, maybe something like karate, I had been taught by a friend when we were cross training, is when you bring the stick like this, you're going to catch it with the armpit. So you want this distance here, instead of holding it like this, you want the distance here so that you can use that leverage and also rotate. Because when you hit something hard, this is going, this is flying, but then this is also coming back. And I don't want to just hit my own ribs. So then that's where you rotate it so that it won't crush me over here, but I could still hit hard. So that's something also I would definitely need to play around with, like make actual contact. So those are things to keep in mind. But now, maybe you guys have seen this kind of motion. Once again, I gotta super be careful. But okay, so this. Basically, you could do the same thing with an Escrima stick. You're holding it reverse grip, so the stick is, coming out way down here. And then you could just kind of make a figure 8 motion like I was doing right here. So this side is longer, right? And then I'm just a little worried. Boom, 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 boom. So keeping that motion, now notice my hands are close together now, they're not far away. And I'm doing that same motion. And this one's just support. It's really this hand that's doing all the work there. So yeah, that's something also to play around with. So do you want it here? And now that changes the rotation versus here, right? Which changes the rotation as well. And then also there's this, where I'm actually opening and letting go. I'm actually switching hands. So then you've seen, this is, you can come here, and then if you gather enough momentum, boom, you can do that. So lots of fun stuff. Definitely, there's way more. This is just me messing around, just stuff off the top of my head. And some things thinking about realistic stuff, some things just trying to work more on skill, dexterity, very, very fun stuff. Yeah, if I was ever landed on a deserted island, I would be doing this kind of stuff and, keeping myself occupied other than the, hunting for food and just survival stuff. But this to me is healthy. It's good for your brain. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.